In a horrific and gruesome crime that has sent shockwaves across New York City, a man set a woman on fire inside the New York City subway train and used a shirt to fan the flames, causing her to become engulfed in fire. The suspect, accused of killing the woman, has been charged with murder in a New York court. This incident has left New Yorkers grappling with questions of safety and inaction by others to save her.
How's it going, everyone? Got some strange news for you today. Maybe you've heard some of it, maybe you haven't, but we're going to share this with you.
As the flames engulfed her body, shocking footage shows a group of onlookers, including some police officers, who either watched or walked past without offering any help. Amid the chaos, an NYPD officer stationed outside the subway car seemingly did nothing as the fire was spreading. The incident has sparked outrage across the city, with many asking just why didn't anyone intervene and help? The woman, believed to be homeless, was reportedly asleep when Sebastian Zapata, the main accused, allegedly set the unidentified woman's clothes on fire and then fanned the flames by waving a shirt around her, which caused the flames to fully engulf her. According to federal immigration officials, Sebastian Zapata is an undocumented immigrant from Guatemala who was deported in 2018 and returned illegally to the United States after that.
But of course, the way we like to do things will take a minute to get there. Anyways, want to consider Proverbs chapter 5 today, right? Christmas Day, so Whiskey and I taking a little stroll. And consider Proverbs chapter 5. For the lips of a strange woman are like honey, but her mouth is a pit that goes straight to hell, whatever, however it is. I can't quote it just exactly what it is, but the gist of what it's saying, right? Go not to the ways of her doorstep. Stay away from her, lest all your honor be given to others, and all your possessions be given over to strangers, right? Pretty much, right? You get all seduced and feeling good by a strange woman, believing whatever comes off her lips. And when you buy into it, next thing you know, that's good advice. This is something we don't consider. Our education system, it was so important to learn what the hell MC squared means and how to do square dancing. These are the things we had to learn that was so important. Yet none of those have done anything to help me in life, right? What we weren't taught is here's just one little argument, people's got a thing about not teaching the Bible in school. Well, this could be some very good advice, the wisdom of Solomon to be learned, okay, right? All of us need to know this stuff. This could be very, very relevant and could save a lot of people's asses, right? Because to heed in that, as I said, it's Christmas Day. Normal occasions, once upon a time, Whiskey and I, we'd be waking up, we'd be sitting right now in our living room watching probably some Christmas shows, surrounded with those that we love, around the fireplace, getting ready for a good, delicious Christmas dinner, right? Instead, when you don't heed that advice, when you don't heed that wisdom, instead then you're out here scrimmaging through the trash barrels, seeing what's good for dinner, for Christmas dinner. Yeah, right, Whiskey? I'm kidding, of course. Whiskey gets our dinner for us. No problem. But no, seriously, right? That's some advice that we need to, that we're not taught. This is stuff we're not taught. We're taught a lot of useless stuff and not important stuff. And that is some real true wisdom, because consider it not just, we're not going to sit here and go on and on about how we were fooled, right? How other people's disloyalties, that's on our personal level, and that's how, whatever, you gain some wisdom about that. But take a look at it on the wider spectrum. Our politicians have been in bed with strange nations for decades now.
At least 17 U.S. military bases near Chinese-owned farmland, reportedly seeing a surge in drone activity and sightings in recent weeks.
And it's catching up with us, right? All our possessions are going over to other nations, to foreigners coming in and taking over. We're surrounded and our nation's about to be taken over.
The White House, or the Obama White House archives.gov. This is the official .gov website, okay? This is Obama's birth certificate, supposedly. But what I'm about to show you is gonna blow your mind. I'm downloading it right now. We're downloading it. Let's bring it up in the files. I've done this a few times now at this point because I'm like, I can't even believe this is real. So, and let's open this up in Illustrator, okay? In Illustrator. And I'm like thinking, okay, well, that's, it could be legit, except for, wait a second, there's bounding boxes on here. So you can delete the bounding boxes and in Illustrator, and if you delete them, you can move the entire background document off of the page. And you can literally separate it, and you can see that this is the original document with the original text on it, that this has been completely photo edited, and they put this ghosting effect on here.
Oh, wow.
And this is like, I can't even believe this. And even the background's been edited because this pattern just repeats like it was on the page, but it curls around. I don't know what that's about. That's weird. But all of this is separated. These are separate window boxes. This is from the White House's website. I literally just downloaded this. And look, it's crazier than that. Look, the entire document has separation components. Their date stamps are two tonal different colors. They can be moved separate. I'm just blown away. I'm blown away at how terrible of a Photoshop job this is. There is some artifacting things here, it looks like. This is literally, look, some weird artifacting thing to try to make it look more legit or something. I don't know. I mean, this is insane. This document is clearly a faked document. How come nobody has bothered to look at this document and say, hey, that might not be legit? How come seriously no designer with any experience looked at this and go, yeah, it looks a little funny. You see this glow around the text? That's clearly photo editing. I'm just blown away right now. This is insane. And then not only that, I'm really good at this. Let's just put it that way. And then let's open this in Photoshop in this thing. Now, edit PDF. They've literally, I noticed that PDF can even detect the background, even in the PDF viewer, can detect that it's separate and different. So you guys can do this yourself. You don't even need to have Illustrator. It knows that the background layers have been edited and modified. And you can come in here and even type. Look, you can type up new names.
That is nuts.
Type whatever you want. You can change this. This is an editable, it's easily recognizably editable document. Look at that. I am blown away right now that this was even, I can't believe this is fake. The government website, guys, has this very exact file. You can download it right now. The government website has this file of Obama's supposed birth certificate that is so clearly a fake, manipulated, altered document. I'm speechless at this point. So Obama legitimately was not born here at all. like legit. Like that's a fake document. What does that mean? Why would they put a fake document out there? Wow, this makes me like really consider how deep the lies actually are.
Their congregant comes to you, hypothetically, and may have happened, and says, you know, I really want to re-elect President Obama, but I've heard he's a Muslim. And in fact, in that Pew survey that came out not that long ago, 18% of folks say he's really a Muslim. What do you say to that congregant?
Well, I would tell them that I've been with the president at the Easter breakfasts, not 5 feet away from him, heard him talk about his faith, talk about redemption, talk about salvation, and you know, I just believe in all my heart that he's a Christian. He says he is.
Now we have China, who many of our politicians have gotten rich off treasonous siding with China, right? Is now building secret police forces.
Threat of Chinese operations inside the U.S. is becoming more clear by the hour. Only days after the DOJ announced arrests connected to a secret Chinese police station in New York, we are learning there could be more. Similar offices have been reported across North America, some in the heart of our country, most in communities with critics of the Chinese Communist Party.
And now a lot of these drone sightings are over near all these Chinese farmland areas that just so happen to be near military bases.
Project, Dr. Stephen Greer. Dr. Greer, it is great to have you on. A pleasure to be speaking with you right now.
Thank you.
What is going on out there? What are people seeing?
Well, it's a complex story that make it very succinct. We did predict this 30 years ago, that they would begin to launch some activity equivalent to a false flag to make it look like there's some sort of alien attack or threat. In reality, it's a response to what's happening. And I've recently told the incoming members of the administration this and people at the Senate Intelligence and Armed Services Committee that we have a team of about 6 different black sites that have been running illegal projects related to so-called UAPs and UFOs coming forward in the next 30 days or so. They will bring forth dispositive evidence of this and the fact that these programs have been run illegally and outside of constitutional oversight. This is a ramp up to divert attention from that activity and could lead to some other events that would be catastrophic. This is a very dangerous situation. Nothing people are seeing has anything to do with aliens or extraterrestrial intelligence. It has to do with trying to maintain the cover-up on a secret program that went black, but illegal black, back in the late 1950s. So we're into 65, 70 years of some very dangerous operations, but also where they have illegal electromagnetic pulse weapons where they target and down the extraterrestrial vehicles that are then reverse engineered.
Okay, let me stop you. Let me stop you right there, Dr. Greer. Let me stop just because I want everyone at home I want us all to be on the same page. You're saying that we have the technology to shoot ET craft, not of this planet, out of the air, and we are reverse engineering those aircraft.
100%, and there are multiple men coming forward. They've been with JSOC and Special Forces, who are also NOCs, an unofficial cover in corporate world. One of them's been there about 29 years and is very senior and has all the evidence, and they'll be releasing the evidence and the information. Now, this creates a dynamic because it's happening before the inauguration. They plan to do it sometime between now and early January.
But anyways, you know, we have, when you consider the whole drone situation, you consider both of these, the possibility Chinese are taking over, right? And all this drone shit going on over our skies is part of China's AI. Who knows, right? But, you know, everything we see that's going on in other foreign affairs, these drones are used to attack stuff, right?
Would grant law enforcement significant authority to intercept private electronic communications without consent. For example, the bill would allow the government to conduct dragnet surveillance of the phones innocent Americans traveling through U.S. airports as long as the government claims they are doing it to neutralize a drone. So in order to look at the information that might be coming to a drone, it may be that you capture all the information of everybody surrounding an airport or everybody who lives near an airport. Once you have all that data, what are the assurances that the government isn't looking at your data in addition to the data that may be related to flying the drone? This is not just about security. It's about unchecked government overreach. It's about capitalizing on fear and media-driven hysteria to jam through sweeping legislation that could violate the civil liberties of American people. Congress has a constitutional responsibility to serve as a check on the executive power, not as a rubber stamp for it. The federal government already has the power to deal with drones. The federal government already has the power to stop any drones that are in airspace around airports. The federal government already has the power to protect its air bases. So if there is a significant problem here, the Biden administration needs to come forward and let us know, who are these drones? Who's operating these drones? What is the federal government doing to protect either airports or bases from this? Instead, we are told by the Biden administration there is no threat to our national security. So let's first insist on truth and transparency from the Biden administration before offering up legislation that is feel good, pat somebody on the back and say, oh, we've done something about drones. We are strong on drones. Congress has a constitutional responsibility to serve as a check on executive power, not as a rubber stamp. We owe it to the American people to demand compelling justification, meaningful safeguards, and full transparency before granting any new surveillance authorities. We are a nation of laws, not fear, not panic, and not manufactured urgency. We do not trade away our freedoms, our privacy, and our constitutional protections for vague promises of security.
Here in the U.S., the group saying China has opened the police stations, think of them more like spy offices in L.A., San Francisco, Houston, undisclosed cities in Nebraska and Minnesota, and New York City. The one connected to this week's charges closed after the FBI started investigating last year. So FBI officials would not confirm the existence of others of these police stations here in the U.S., saying that they can't comment on ongoing investigations.
At least 17 U.S. military bases near Chinese-owned farmland, reportedly seeing a surge in drone activity and sightings in recent weeks.
Could you give me, Dr. Greer, could you give us a quick summary? I'd like to hear some of the toe-curling details, if you wouldn't mind.
Well, for example, they have been able to confirm one of our whistleblowers' testimony, who's a Marine, Michael Herrera, who was present at an event, stumbled across an event during a rescue mission after the Indonesian earthquake in 2009. And he came across a platform, a man-made object, about 300 feet around, that was manned by covert human operators who were American. And they had boxed up and crated up humans that they were trafficking that had oxygen tanks on this tank. And they were being moved to a black site for various types of human experimentation and use. It's horrific, some of the actions. The main operator from two of these black sites that I've been at, I will not discuss where they are right now.
Okay.
It'll be disclosed fairly soon. He actually had personal knowledge of that. So when this whistleblower came forward, who was taken to the Pentagon Aero Office and Senate Intelligence Committee, he approached me and confirmed all of it. And so he said, not only that, but it's way worse than that. So there are some really worrisome programs going on without the oversight of the president or the Congress, and that has to get corrected because it's dangerous. Now, all these drones and everything going on is both a diversion, but an attempt to create a psychological warfare, a
psyop, to distract us.
And that's really what it is. But
anyways, thought we would share some of this lesser seen news with you. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Let's hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear God and keep all of his commandments, for that is the whole duty of man. For God will bring every work into judgment with every secret thing, whether it be good or whether it be evil.